Poisonrana.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana Live. You found us in whatever podcast app you are using right now. And it is Sunday, February 8th, 2 p.m., which means
we are live on youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
hello, everybody. It is the 8th of February, like I said. So maybe you're preparing for a game day. Maybe you're listening to this Monday after the big game day, talking about a big deal, a big day today involving something so monumentous, so monumental, so game-changing. Of course, I'm speaking about Toronto finally launching the Eglinton LRT line. Oh
Holy
my God,
shit,
finally.
really?
It only
my
took
God.
15 years. I have moved like 10 times since the start of the Eglinton crosstown traffic that they have finally launched today.
That's
this
crazy.
started before you were in this country.
I hope this is everything we ever dreamed of and more. But yeah, this has been going a long time. I did see yesterday Ford said he's not going to investigate why it took so long and cost so much more than it originally said it will. But yeah, I guess cool. Now you can get around Eglinton.
Now we can go to Scarborough and the other part of Toronto, the west side. Basically, this construction in the city is literally started before you ever decided to come to this country, before many things. Like, I'm talking over 10 years. I'm pretty sure it's between 10 and 15 years of how long this has taken. And today there was people waiting out in the cold overnight to be the first rider of this above ground subway train thing. So sometimes when I watch too much wrestling and I spend my life doing podcasts about wrestling, and if you ever think, man, something's wrong with this guy, at least I didn't wait overnight to be the first to ride the new subway line, because that sounds crazy. Sorry, any non-Toronto listeners, but it's a big day. It's a big day for the city, and more on that. Stay tuned for Toronto updates.
Also, obviously, of course, it's Super Bowl Sunday. I hope you're all prepared. I hope you're all having fun. Got your wings ready. Got your beers ready, and all that.
What is more like? Sure, every Super Bowl, you gotta get your plans in order. You gotta rally up the troops, whether you're gonna hang out with friends or family. Big decisions of what you're gonna eat. The wings, is it gonna be pizza? What's it gonna be? Right. This year, it's going to be, which racist uncle are you going to fight? I think that's what the topic's going to be.
My favorite thing every year about the Super Bowl is people talking right the way through the halfway show about how much they dislike the halftime show before even a note has been fucking sung. Just, oh, I hate this. Who is this guy? I don't even know. This person isn't even really famous. Oh, they're not as good as they used to be. Why have they? Why wasn't it Metallica this year? Blah, blah, blah. Yak, yak, yak throughout the whole fucking thing without even watching it. Hey, PSA, shut the fuck up. Wait till the end. And then you can express your opinion. Or you know what? Keep it to yourself. There's a lot of people who shut up during the football and want to watch the halftime show. And there's people the other way around. So be courteous to each other. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the halftime show. Enjoy both, if you please. But be respectful to what everyone else wants to watch as well.
Absolutely. Definitely seeing a lot of mixed reaction going into this Super Bowl. It felt like that last year.
It literally like every year. Why is Katy Perry doing it? Why is Shakira doing it? Why is Maroon 5 doing it? Why is Coldplay doing it? Like, it's... this is millions of people watching, and tastes are all very, very different. If you don't enjoy it, just go for a walk. Go for a poo. Do something else. Like,
if you don't like it, just watch Kid Rock. Right? That's
yeah. Oh, it drives me mad every year. Last year, like we were at a place, and I won't say friend, an acquaintance of ours was just going off on who was it? Kendrick Lamar. Like, I'm not a big Kendrick fan, but, you know, I prefer to watch and then make my decision, you know, like, and he was going on. And I think I eventually just turned around and went, will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah, we both just started telling him to be quiet.
Like, and I'm hearing it all at the moment. Oh, who is this Bad Bunny? I've never heard of him. Oh, he's just like the most streamed artist of all time or whatever. It's no big deal. Like,
I feel like, okay, we're wrestling fans, so most of us at this point know who he is because we've seen him in the world of wrestling. When that first happened, there was a lot of wrestling fans and a lot of people, including some of our listeners, including some of our friends, who were like, I don't know who this guy is. Why the fuck is he in WWE? And then I think he won a lot of people over. I think when it comes to celebrities in the world of wrestling, I'd say Bad Bunny is the top tier, right? Like, okay, Logan Paul can do an Acai moonsault, and he's pretty good. Don't get me wrong. He's a lot of fun to hate. But I think out of everything that we've seen in celebrities in the world of wrestling, Bad Bunny was the number one. And think, he was already famous before he got there. Of course, a lot of you, that was the first introduction to him, but he has been killing it in the world of music. Like, he might not be someone your aunt or your mom or your grandma or your neighbors know, but he is one of the most streamed like musicians, artists worldwide.
Okay. Broaden your horizons. If you've never heard of the guy before, just listen. You might like it. And if you don't, oh well, that's 10 minutes of your life where you watch something you didn't like. It's it drives me mad every year. Like,
I know you know, like, we're just two silly Canadians talking about wrestling, but it is in a few hours. It's the Super Bowl. We're gonna try to get together and we're gonna watch it. And for me, it is Bad Bunny. That's the draw for me, and the commercials, obviously. But like, the music aspect for many years, as pretty much as long as I've been alive, the halftime show is like, hey, a big artist is gonna do it. So that to me is a snapshot of like, okay, who's big at the time that is doing the Super Bowl. And it's always like a big pop culture,
a bit of a time capsule in a way. Like, you know how we say every year going back and watching old Rumbles is a time capsule of the roster. It's kind of like that. What was the big thing in 2026? Like, you'll go back and rewatch the 2025 Super Bowl and you'll go, oh, right, it was the Kendrick Drake beef that all led up to this thing and stuff like that. You know, it's a little pocket in time of what was popular at the time, whether that be Michael Jackson way back when, or, you know, Janet Jackson and the nip slip or whatever. It's you don't have to like it, but it is sort of capturing pop culture, what's popular at that time.
I do like, I hate so like, this is a snapshot of like, even if you don't like it, it's like this, you can go to the washroom, get a snap. Like, it's so weird that you're hearing the president of the United States go out of his way to be like, I've never heard of this guy. He stinks. So you haven't heard of him. So therefore you don't know if he stinks or if not. He stinks, but okay. Yeah. But he also says that he will be changing the channels at Mar-a-Lago during the Super Bowl. So unfortunately, all the pedophiles will be watching the Kid Rock show instead of the Bad Bunny performance, which I don't think that will bother him too much. But I just find it to go out of your way.
I like him underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say that's mandatory. So that's your option on the good old white American Christian show, if you want to watch that instead.
Right, yes. His name is Kid. Yeah. Look, like, I love Kid Rock too.
Like, was there uproar about Paul McCartney playing the halftime show because he's not American? Right. Even though this guy is American and he's
Puerto Rico. As a Canadian, this makes my blood boil. I couldn't imagine some of the people who are in America who are like, what the fuck is going on with this Twilight Zone of America? Like, okay, sorry. Not my halftime Super Bowl performance. No. Why are we giving it to the I'm seeing the craziest thing. Like, later today is going to be one of the worst days on the internet for sure, with people just bitching and complaining of like all this shit. Like, fuck, like this, just because the guy has songs that are in Spanish, it's fucking mental that this is a thing. Like, I will say, I loved his last album. Has a lot of like Puerto Rico, like the big band and like the salsa kind of music that's sampled into it. And I expect he's going to perform a lot of these. One of the songs was it Ballet Vidabla. I don't know if that's the right one, but the songs are amazing. Like, people will hate it, obviously, but if you are like new to this, you're gonna tune in like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but it's a vibe, and I'm feeling good. Like, none of this music today will be like hateful or anything. So like, I don't understand all this. Like, I don't know. Maybe I feel like all the stuff I see about this Puerto Rican dude who's the halftime show, and just seeing hate from the same typical fucking losers out there. And I don't care what side of the fucking thing you're on, but like, just blatant racism is fucked.
Yeah.
And maybe my mom taught me better than majority, because I'm just like, the fucking president is like, oh, I'm going to be changing my channel. You fucking loser, man. Like, support your own fucking people. And oh, well, he's going to be speaking in Spanish, then we have to learn. No,
don't watch at all. Try and stop a war or something, you fucking pedo. You know, like, fuck off.
It takes, like, I don't,
Fat orange cunt.
For anyone listening, you probably know, like, I don't usually go out of my way to be like, hey, like, fuck, like, be careful. And I always, you know, like to throw a little tip of the hat, like, hey, be careful out there, be safe out there, shit's crazy. But just seeing blatant racism really fucking irritates me. Like, I cannot stand, and I know we're going to go out tonight, we're going to go to a bar, we're going to see those reactions from certain people. You just will. And I just don't get it. And I mean, I guess I do. It's the way the world has been the last little while. So, you know what? I've been listening to Bad Bunny all day. I'm fucking hyped. I'm a white guy who doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, and I'm going to be vibing and salsing, and I won't know what he's talking about. I do, because I like his songs. But you know what I mean? Like, just sometimes people, like, sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone. And I'm sorry if a dude from Puerto Rico is going to sing Spanish, but like, fuck. On top of that, just think of his entrance at Backlash a few years ago. The guy's going to put on a good show. The guy's going to rock. So I think it's just people were mad that he said fuck Ice at the Grammys last week. And that's definitely where the fuel to the fire has been, like, in just, it annoys me, man. Just like the straight up racism from like people who supposedly run the country is fucking crazy. So I'll say it again. Peace and love. Whether you like Bad Bunny or not, peace and love. Okay? Sometimes just shut the fuck up.
Well, that's maybe
That's
a
the
good
show.
segue to Fuck Ice, which took place on Dynamite this week.
I mean, yeah, that definitely was something that was in the world of wrestling. I saw so many things from people who aren't in the wrestling like bubble, who are like, wow, have we gone so far that even wrestling fans realize that the world is fucked right now? Because
it's interesting, because I think we know that for a while, like, it's like wrestling fans as a whole, at least on the mainstream level, are pretty, you know, I wouldn't say liberal, but, you know, like, open-minded and accepting and things. Like, things have really changed since the 90s. You know, you do see when we've been at events and people have been maybe saying inappropriate stuff, you do tend to see people school them and, like, get security or be like, hey, that's out of order, shut the fuck up, man, and that kind of thing. And it's a very different crowd to, like, let's say a UFC crowd. But it was kind of cool this week to see the, like, wider world, like, see that. Like, I was seeing so many tweets like, wait, pro wrestling is now, let me check, liberal? Like, what the fuck? It's and obviously Brody King, we were at the press conference where Tony Khan was saying he loves letting his wrestlers express themselves and things like that, and the amount of charity he's done for like, you know, anti-ice stuff with his t-shirts and all that has been fantastic. But I thought it was such a cool moment on Dynamite this week, and it's great that it's had this, like, mainstream attention from it as well.
Like, I will say, like, I thought it was interesting to hear that. I know Brody King has been someone who's, you know, he's worn the stuff on TV, so that's obviously what's gonna attach him to that, like, his stance, being pretty vocal about that, like, on TV, right? And yes, the MJF face that has now become a meme from this. But I feel like there's gonna be the people who are like, oh, like, well, keep this out of my wrestling, and then you watch WWE and you have Triple H telling me how to be healthy with the president. Here's how to inject the needle into your ass to be oh wait, sorry. No, here's how to eat McDonald's or whatever. Like, I just find there is AEW does feel like the the leftist show, which shocker, sorry everyone, most wrestlers might not want you to know their which way they lean, because maybe you won't like what you learn, but some aren't. And I don't know, in my like own opinion, I think I formed over the past few years is AEW might be the like more, you know, PC or modern day left leaning, or at least it comes across that way. And I kind of had that thought before these chants broke out. So am I wrong to kind of assume? I think most people assume like AEW kind of the, you know, the rebel underdog left leaning, and then WWE the machine, right? Oh, I can't hear you.
If you think about it right from the start, characters like Nyla Rose, Sonny Kiss, you know, t-shirts that people like CM Punk or Adam Page would wear on TV. And even someone like MJF, I know the whole like Israel-Palestine thing is a very touchy subject, but him being like quite vocal on for both sides, like, hey, this is wrong and this kind of stuff. And as like him putting his neck out, and maybe as like, you know, he's a very proud Jewish man, but saying some things that might upset some like Israelis as well, you know, from his stances. And it is interesting. And I think it's especially like just interesting timing how the past week we had Ava depart from WWE and had that like tweet, I can get this off my chest now, implying that she wasn't able to say certain things that she put on her Twitter. On the same week, we have this fuck Ice chant breakout. And what I thought was cool was not just the crowd chanting this, and obviously it's kind of Brody King embodying that that opinion and that attitude, but it's, you know, Bryce holding off from ringing the bell, let it breathe. Like, I think Excalibur literally cuts off mid-sentence to just let it happen. Production just not bleeping it, not censoring it, just letting it like breathe for a second. I thought it was a really cool moment.
What we learned from wrestling fans, though, when a chant gets over, you can expect it for the rest of fucking eternity. So are we going to see this on Dynamites going forward? I feel like we might now. I feel like this is going to be an ongoing.
I mean, I take this chant. What? I think it should be. I think this is a very
think of all the chants.
Very good chant, and you know, it's protests seem to upset people whatever you do. You know, someone peacefully takes a knee and they pretty much lose their job and get blasted by the president. People protest in the street and people complain that it's disrupting traffic and disrupting everyone's day-to-day life. People smash windows and loot and things, and it's, well, you're violent thugs. There's very few ways to express yourself, and, you know, people always criticize things like the Grammys when people are speaking out. But for me, that's using your platform. I'd much rather see someone who's a role model, like express their beliefs and their displeasure in atrocities happening in the world, than I want to thank God for my music award. You know, you've got to use these platforms when you can. And I think things like wrestling is a great outlet for people to do that. You know, there was controversy over the anthems last year, like pretty much a year ago at Elimination Chamber. But as Canadians, how else can you express your displeasure with the whole tariff stuff and the whole like attempting to annex the country and stuff like that? There's few opportunities, and you should, in my opinion, take the opportunity when you can. And I'd much rather hear a fuck Ice chant that follows Brody King along than renditions of Seven Nation Army and Daddy Cool, personally.
Like for me, WWE doesn't shy away. Okay, they've said in multiple times, and you see people say things like, "Oh, we try not to be political." They try not to reference Donald Trump. In the last, like, you know, how many years, they've definitely tried to separate of like, "Hey, look, we're not just Trump because they kind of know maybe that could, you know, give the wrong impression. I'm not sure, but they did show when Triple H was at the White House, right? Like they showed that in the last few months when that happened. And like, I guess, let's say I want to let's say like devil's advocate here. Like, okay, I watch this stuff because I don't want to watch the news and I don't want to see what's going on in the world. But WWE, when I watch it, I'm reminded like how things work there. You have Logan Paul, who's on every episode of TV, and then you have him on his podcast and this and that. And he's very vocal about what side of the fence he's on. Right. And then now you have this chant breakout where the other side are going to be like, oh, well, keep this out of wrestling, keep this out of the show. And it's like, well, we would, but the cat's been out the bag for fucking ever. The president dude's been in the fucking Hall of Fame. So like the world is idiocracy more than it ever was. So that's definitely where I'm like, oh, well, if there are people who are like, oh, why are we doing this at a wrestling thing? I watch wrestling because blah, blah, blah. And this might make people be like, yes, fuck yeah, AEW. And it also might be like, oh, actually, I don't want to watch that because I'm MAGA and this and that. It could go easily both ways. And I think WWE, they have tried to dance around of like not outright telling us that they're this big MAGA corporation. But if you were to ask every wrestler, line them up and ask them, you're going to get the answers you don't want to hear out there, people. So like, don't forget that.
Yeah. They just scream in their face of capitalism, you know, like, look how much money we're making, look how much time of yours we're wasting with commercials and stuff, while
like I would say
the head of creative's too busy in the White House to write a decent SmackDown.
Like, okay, a few years ago, if we were out with people and one person were to be like, oh, actually, I liked some of Trump's things and I actually support this, you kind of be like, okay, I just won't maybe talk to this person. I'm not interested. Nowadays, I think people might check you on it or won't tolerate being around you, full stop. Like now it's like we can't be in the same room. I feel like that's a lot of people. And when you do this kind of stuff with, again, WWE, to me, my own opinion is WWE is the big MAGA machine. Like TKO is attached to UFC. If you watched any of that, like I watched Triple H talk about health standing next to the president. Like they're telling me enough what I need to know. So like AEW is kind of the left-leaning rebel underground, you know, that's just kind of how I view it. And I think after this week with these chants, I think that's kind of stamps that of like, hey, we are this like alternative. You had Ava's tweet being like, hey, I wasn't allowed to do this, but I'm saying it with my chest now. And then the other side of the flip of it, you had sorry, I can't even believe I'm going to bring this up, but Jack Swagger being like, oh, Tony Khan didn't let me talk about Donald Trump. It's like, dude, I don't think you should talk about anything. I don't even think you can talk, actually. So maybe you shouldn't. No one wants to hear it. So.
If you know, you know.
Was that what he does?
It was when he had this, like, they really tried to like just randomly push him as a baby
one
face
promo
on SmackDown. I think it was when SmackDown Live started, you know, the second draft bit. And he's like, I'm a former NCAA champion. I'm a former world champion. And I've got a hot wife at home. Woof!
Yeah, he's ridiculous. I think I put that whole promo up once on our Insta just because
it's brilliant. It's
amazing.
One of those things like every couple of years I got to revisit because
you watch the Jack Swagger
so much joy. It's the most joy I've ever got out of Jack Swagger, except maybe his purple hat.
I feel like he should. Yeah, I'm surprised he never wore the red one on TV. I feel like he would just tweet more about Trump or his hatred of Bad Bunny, and then he'll be on Raw like next week. So looks like how things work. Okay, like at the end of the day, I do watch this stuff to forget about all the bad stuff. You know, like you have a bad day at work and you come home and you watch Raw or SmackDown or whatever the fuck. Like this shit is supposed to be like, I get that, and I can see why people are mad, but like there's a lot on the other side, and there hasn't been a whole lot on this side. So I kind of welcome it. Okay, I'm not saying I want this every week, but like, fuck, it made headlines, and of course, you had people be like, "Oh, the wrestling fans are even liberal now." It's like, yeah, there's more pockets in niche and tribalism and all that stuff. It goes deep, but like at the end of the day, when people are like, oh, I love WWE and this and that, I'm like, oh yeah, like you are aware that XYZ, and then they go, oh yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But anyway, we could talk about this forever, but yeah.
Well, let's get through a little bit of housekeeping. If you're new to us, we are Poisonrana. We do a show every Sunday talking about everything that's happened in the world of pro wrestling. You can also find our free feed that's available wherever you get your podcasts. But we have a Patreon as well, where for just $5 a month, you can sign up and have access to over 700 shows now at this point. We do retro NXT reviews. We're currently in 2014 in the summer, talking all about Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, the Four Horsewomen, the money-making fighting Legionnaires. We do movie reviews, quite often picked by our world champion patrons, as well as some shit that we sometimes want to talk about. And we also go back in time, profiling wrestlers in best match ever, looking at the greatest matches of their career, or some retro wrestling pay-per-views as well.
Absolutely. If you like what you hear and you want to buy us a beer, buy us a coffee, buy yourself some podcasts. It's literally $5 a month to get you a whole month's access, equals all the shows, including all the ones that come out this month and all the shows in that back catalog. We recently did a review of Ready Player One. That was a lot of fun, talking about Mechagodzilla and video games and 80s references. And we will be doing another movie review, another Up Yours. Shout out. Is it our friend who's selected Howie, right?
Howie.
Yep. Howie has selected a lot of Karate Kid movies in the past, but the last time we talked to him, we chatted about Kill Bill Volume 1. Well, now we're going to finish the whole bloody affair because Howie has selected Kill Bill Part 2, which we will be reviewing this upcoming Wednesday. So if you haven't checked out our Part 1 review, you have time to go check out that and listen to Part 2 this week. We also just dropped a best match ever, AJ Styles in TNA. If you have watched AJ in TNA, you can probably guess some of the matches we're going to talk about. But if you haven't, well, we're nice enough to even link you all the matches that we talk about on this podcast in our Patreon. The links are on the TNA YouTube. So we talk about AJ in multi-man matches from 02 back in TNA. I'm talking Jerry Lynn, Psychosis, plus epic rivalry with Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and so much more. So this was a huge deep dive into AJ Styles' career in TNA. And eventually we'll get to his New Japan and his WWE run as well. And hopefully we'll get to his AEW run, but that's for later in the show. But yeah, that was a ton of fun. Like kind of going back and reminding us like why AJ was Mr. TNA in the first place. So this was a really
fantastic.
Show. Yeah,
I love this episode. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. All these matches are also available for free to watch, so you can kind of watch along with us if you like. Watch them and then hear our thoughts on the match.
It was interesting because
you disagree.
Yeah, like I watched TNA back in the day. Like I was super into it when I first got my hooks into it around like 04, 05, and then I had a bunch of the DVDs that had like a lot of the old stuff, but it was interesting, like rewatching some of this stuff back. And then also, like, I know you're a big AJ fan, but it's a bit of a blind spot if you've never watched him in TNA. So a lot of this stuff was new for you. So it was a fun contrast of like how good this dude was back in the day and still is. So this was a great podcast talking about AJ Styles. We'll eventually get to more of that. So all those shows plus so many more, patreon.com/poisonrana. $5. There's so many shows out there. We also, if you're crazy and you want to pick stuff to review, you can become a world champ patron, a family member, where you get to pick something and we'll have you on for the review to talk about your favorite movie or wrestling or whatever. Because I know we're going through some more picks down the line and we have been replying to some of our family members. But you also get access to the X-rated raunchy the BDE. This month's was crazy. This one might get us canceled. We say that a lot, but this one's definitely the one. Some folks have responded saying it might be the best behind the BDE ever. It's high praise. So you want to hear all the behind the BDEs? Hear all the stuff that we definitely are not allowed to say on shows like this or on YouTube or specifically the post wrestling feed. So check out our Patreon if you haven't. It supports us. We are two independent podcasters, and it's what keeps the lights on. You know, it's what allows us to go out and have good times. And
absolutely,
we work hard on these podcasts, believe it or not. But they're a lot of fun, and appreciate all the people out there listening. We will be back on Tuesday for up next the fallout from the 7-man ladder match right after NXT on Post Wrestling, and we will be back here, of course, next week. But there's a lot of wrestling to talk about.
Yeah,
there's a lot of there might not be Olympic wrestling because it's the Winter Olympics. Too cold to wear those tights. Have you watched any of this?
I've kind of had it on in the background. It's obviously on at the bar at work and stuff like that. I've been watching a little bit of the snowboarding. I believe
was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, did you watch it?
Oh, just in general. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like the snowboarding, I watched some of the things these guys can do. And then
I thought you meant something happened that I meant. Yeah, no, yeah. I love all the flippy.
It's funny because it reminded me of wrestling, because when you watch them and they do these flips, and I'm like, this is like Ricochet doing a 630 or something. And then the commentators will tell you, like, oh, this kid who's like 20 for 10 years has been a gymnast. And then all of a sudden went, oh, I can do that. And then now instantly has become like one of the, and you're hearing this repeatedly for so many different people. It's kind of like wrestling where it's like, back in the day, sure, you had people who just want to start snowboarding, but now people are coming in with the different backgrounds who can do all the flippy shit in snowboarding. So flippy shit, not just popular in wrestling, but I loved watching some of that. And then I loved the Andrea Bocelli in the opening. I didn't know if he was advertised or not. I just fucking knew he had to be there. I was like, he's the guy, right? Like, he's the GOAT, right? He's coming back here. It's so expensive to go see him, but I really do.
But how is it possible to enjoy him when he's singing in Italian?
Yeah,
like, I don't get it. How do you understand what he's saying?
Can't understand it.
Enjoy it.
Can't understand you. Go back to your own country. They're singing in Italian. Get out of here. What are you talking? I also like the lady from the woman from the hotel show. It's the show I like.
Oh, yeah. White Lotus.
White Lotus. Yeah, she was dancing around like a Power Ranger, but it was kind of lit. It was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
She killed it. So shout out Team Canada, even though we have the worst gear in the entire Olympics. It is literally a giant turd is what we're dressed as.
Great.
So Lululemon, get the fuck out of here. Is that what it is? I think we switched from Lululemon. Go back to roots.
Well, Hudson Bay doesn't exist anymore, does it? Yeah.
Like, we are the cool.
It should just be roots.
Yeah. Like, we have the coolest color scheme, red and white. Cool. We don't need blue. Fuck you guys. You can keep the blue. We got red and white. And we're like, all right, sick. We're going to make it look like a giant piece of shit. Okay, cool. Thanks, Lululemon. Yeah. We were set up. Lululemon's an American company, isn't it? We were fucking set up. So anyways.
I know Team GB beat Canada in the curling as well, apparently.
What the fuck?
According to my mum. It's round robin, though. It's still early days. So
okay. Yeah, I'm waiting for that men's. It's got to be US and Canada like it always is. And maybe we'll see the big showdown there. But it's always, because it's Austin Matthews is an American, so he's on Team USA, and then we got Connor McDavid on Team Canada with Sidney Crosby. So you'd think maybe we have the upper hand, but we'll see about that. So there you go. There's our actual sports coverage. We'll get back to you next time we talk about our Olympics coverage. Go Team Canada. But now we can talk about the real sports, the real graps, some wrestling. Yeah. Where do you want to start this week?
I think the build to WrestleMania is probably the biggest stuff going on. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about the Punk and Roman stuff on Monday, but we were kind of interested what the rebuttal's going to be, because it was a bit of a burial of Drew McIntyre and SmackDown and that title. And wouldn't you know it, all those years ago, Cody didn't actually solve racism. He's just got a big old dick.
Cody Raheem Rhodes. I don't know what was funnier, Cody Rhodes actually saying that, or when Trick came out later in the night and just casually slipped that in of the people he was
called Raheem. Man, I loved it. And I love the, you get there's so much bad comedy in wrestling, and you just get that supportive laugh. You
this
hear
is bad comedy though. This is bad, but it's funny.
Oh, but it was the reaction. It was like the like from the crowd that he went there.
Like this isn't, you know,
was fucking fantastic.
This isn't Mel Brooks or something, but like it was funny, but it's such a like everybody makes that joke. Like,
now, do you really think he's got a bigger cock than Drew, Roman, and Punk?
Drew's a big dude. I don't know, man.
I don't know. So's Roman. Like,
Brandy's tweet.
I think we all know who's number 4, but like, come on.
So Brandy Rhodes tweeted something after this promo, being like, "It's true" or something like that. So yes, standing by her man. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. You know, the promo. Okay, the promo with Punk and Roman, like they were just like, Roman's like, "I pick you because Drew sucks," and Punk is like, "Yeah, you should pick me because Cody sucks too, and those guys aren't real champs. This is the real belt, and like we have history." So Cody and Drew catching strays was like, okay, it's definitely Drew who felt like they were just bitching out for no reason. So it was interesting to hopefully hear a bit of a rebuttal from them. And we did talk last week of like where we think the direction is going, and I'd say after this week's SmackDown, it's definitely going to be Cody Drew one more time at Mania.
It feels Cody Drew, whether they insert Jacob somehow, but it doesn't. Like, Jacob was involved this week, obviously brawling, and he's going to be in the chamber as well. So whether there's kind of a screwy finish to the chamber, there's always that option. But it feels they're building Cody and Drew. And okay, they've been feuding for months at this point. It's not the most interesting, but then you're kind of scratching your head where to go. Maybe if you kept Cody as champion, you could have had Gunther win the chamber and challenge him or something like that. Might feel a little fresher. But I actually quite like, I quite like this week how it's almost like this rivalry between the two main events. We know what the night 2 main event is, but I think in kind of them shitting on these two and these two coming back with a bit of venom on SmackDown, in a way makes this match a little bit more interesting as well. And I think you're going to have this little sort of Raw SmackDown rivalry, who has the best main event of WrestleMania thing going on, which does, I think, breathe a little bit of life into this Cody Drew feud that's been going on for too long, in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely, okay, I think the reset is, okay, well, it's Cody on the chase. So the story is like back to where he kind of was. Now, I know everyone's kind of buzzing about the Raheem joke from Cody, but the rest of once he said that, the crowd were really behind him. They really reacted to that joke. But yeah, the rest of the promo was pretty interesting. I enjoyed how he said, I believe they were in Charlotte, and he's saying, this is where I was born, down the street. And he mentions Arn Anderson waiting outside with stacks of pizza boxes, which I thought was, this guy could read the phone book, and you know, he could be president because the way he fucking is the silk smooth talker. But it was him also saying that this was page 1 of the story in Charlotte, and I was so upset that I had to come here tonight without the championship. Basically saying I got to finish the story again. So we're gonna go back to book 2 in the series now of the story. The story continues, and that's definitely where he's gonna go. But you know, like week 1 of, I think just seeing him cut that promo, I was like, who else do you have that is gonna be your like contender for this title? So it has to be that.
I think as well, like I brought this up on Tuesday's show, but these are the best 2 to be catching strays from Punk and Roman, because they're both very solid on the mic. Yeah. You know, it almost, Drew especially, it fuels him. And I thought his promo later in the night was great. I loved where he was like, sorry, you think that's the real title? This is the title held by Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, told Steve Austin, not Dusty Rhodes. The Rock, like, was such a line. And I think if it was any other 2, it could, like, it is obviously the number 2 main event, but they're making it feel bigger that way. And yeah, I thought they did a good job on SmackDown this week. I was pretty entertained by the whole, like, you know, also Drew keep on coming out trying to cut the promo and then getting attacked by Cody and then Jacob, and then both of them being escorted out. And then he's like, fuck, now I can say what I'm going to say. And it was essentially a babyface promo from Drew, like selling this title, selling this show. and selling this rivalry.
Like, I know people are like worried, like, oh, are the crowds turning on Cody? Because Drew is just so funny and so like scathing most of the time that you kind of like, he's the bad guy that's fun to like, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. After watching Cody tonight, like this crowd seemed to still be interested in him. But I do think that is like your night one main event, maybe. Like, would that not make sense? So. And then you have Roman and Cody night two. Like I've said before, I didn't like the way this feud. They reheated it so many times and then decided to pull the trigger. And I think the like lamest way, I know Drew's character is the like hypocrite. So winning by leaving a cage, just on paper, saying it out loud, just saying it sounds terrible. Like who decided, yeah, that's the way. Like even having the way it happened, having someone accidentally hit Cody and then Drew pins him, like any other option than just walking out of a cage, leaving a cage, falling out of a cage. You're not really the champion. So they're definitely going to play on Cody on the chase again, being more of the story. But I'd say it's a bit of an uphill battle here because like we've done it a few times just recently. And I can't say I was super into the Drew Sammy feud, mostly because just like Finn Balor and CM Punk in Chicago, you're not winning. And I don't think anyone's expecting him to win because we have WrestleMania. So that's where this area gets a little gray of like the champion maybe shouldn't have to defend going in just because you don't see both these titles changing hands before then, even if they defend it or not. But I don't know. I feel like the Cody thing, you have a lot to do. I don't know what the story, like Drew's already shit on Dusty a whole lot. He's already made it personal. Like we've done the whole cycle of like multiple matches that now the story is you can't touch me because you lost. So Cody has to do this whole, like, I got to win the chamber. Then I get my shot. And then, so I guess that can stretch it, but I don't know. It's not necessary. This is week one. And I thought both promos from both guys are really good, but just think this is February. We have like,
you can also, obviously you can add Jacob Fatu to this as well.
I don't know though. Would you want that over a singles match? I don't think I do.
I think so actually, just because we've seen the singles match so many times. 3 Stages of Hell is such a blow-off match to then
that wasn't even a 3-stage. Like that was the cage, I mean, right?
It was a 3
that was the finish, right?
Match. Yeah.
But I mean, like compare it to other ones. It kind of wasn't. It was like what, normal match? Like, what would the gimmick match if it's?
It was exactly the same as Triple H.
I feel like
it's the same matches.
Yeah, but I don't know if people are going to go back and rewatch this one as much as like it doesn't feel like.
I'm not telling people to rewatch it.
Yeah, I just feel like
it was like that's the stipulation. You know?
Yeah, but it sucks. So like I don't know. I feel like there's no gimmick you can add to Drew and Cody for Mania. So really, adding Jacob is the only like. Big thing. So
Jacob feels like a bit of a loose part, if not. So I think it does make it fresher. And either way, I don't see Cody walking out of Mania as champion.
Yeah,
I think it could have bad sentiment towards him if he did. I feel like people like Cody, but I feel people are enjoying this Drew run a little bit, and we could pull the trigger on another Cody reign later down the line. You either like whether you make it like a Hell in a Cell or something like that, like a real feeling like we haven't had one of them for a couple of years, like to make it feel like the final chapter, like even bigger than the last one, or you add Jacob. Like I see this being a plunder match of some sort, whether it's a street fight or something. I don't see it necessarily just being a one-on-one straight up match.
I don't think I'm interested in any of these variations, but again, after watching promos from 2 of the best going, you can understand it's like, okay, actually let's let them present this story. Hopefully they have something, but adding Jacob adds something to it. I wouldn't say personally, I'm like, he's not at that level yet, but why not in a match? I'm not saying he has to win or anything. I think he could bring some excitement. The other option is like add some bigger stipulation. Now, the last time we saw a cell match, it was with Drew. So you could kind of play into like Cody wanting that, but I don't know. I do also see Drew retaining this title. Like I think after the promo on Raw, you're like, okay, Drew got bitched out, and then Drew's like, no, this is the main title. It reminds you, like, yeah, it is, and you're pretty good, but we're going back to Cody. I don't know if it's the most like juiciest thing, but then we've already said last week and now today, like, if not Cody, what you're going to do? Jacob versus Drew? That's not big enough. Who else is there? And there isn't right now for that big slot. So I don't know. I kind of do have faith that maybe they'll turn this story around with Cody on the chase. You know, like, Cody, you can't touch me. You have to beat the chamber. And then he has to go win the chamber. And then, like, now I'm your challenger. And then we go back into it. So I don't know. Maybe they can turn. Those are two slick talkers. I feel like they can make it work. But then you have Joe and Punk and Roman. I think I just called him by his real name because I was thinking about Samoa Joe. But Joe and Punk, the other Samoan on Monday Night Raw, like, that's the real meat of the main event of, like, night 2.
Oh yeah,
the big match. So yeah, I feel like those two big matches, whether it's a triple threat, good for Mania, I guess. Like, if you got tickets to Mania, you're probably, like, pretty hyped for Roman and Punk, right? Like, so that's a big one.
That feels like a proper big main event.
Yeah,
like, I think that's one of the biggest matches you can possibly do. I think Punk versus Cody is the other one. Like, I think it's the right move, pulling the trigger with that. It's just, you have the same issue you have every year. You've got a lot of people who are top guys and over, and it's who's playing odd one out. How do we fit this, like, Sudoku puzzle together, you know? It's like Gunther's still, like, I have no idea. Is it Gunther Rey Mysterio for Mania? Is that possibly an option?
Yeah, Gunther feels like he's so hot off this whole Cena and then AJ, and it just feels like he should be one that is, like, heavily featured. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Who else is retiring?
Like,
who else could he retire?
I know. I actually quite like this idea. Our friend Big Tom suggested yesterday was you make it Rey Mysterio putting his career on the line against Gunther, and Gunther's about to beat him, and Dominic comes to the aid of Rey and is like, no, if anyone's retiring my deadbeat dad, it's me, kind of thing. You could do, which would be a nice little, like, add-on to the Rey Dom story and all that, and would then add big stakes to a Gunther match without necessarily having to retire the guy. There's that option, but it is, you feel like after retiring Cena and AJ that Gunther should be in one of the world title matches. Really. Yeah. So I don't know what they have planned for Gunther. Yeah,
like Gunther Randy could be something. Like, who else could you tease or, like, promote that, like, you're the legend killer kind of thing? And then he was the legend killer, so could do. I
just feel you should have him win at Mania as well. You should keep this streak going. Brock is obviously the other option, but whether I assume it's Brock Ober or Brock Gunther.
Yeah, true. It's got to be one of those guys fighting Brock. And if it's Brock's last year, you might as well have Gunther retire him. But what, Minnesota SummerSlam, right? So maybe that would make the most sense for Brock. But yeah, I feel like I liked Raw. I liked SmackDown. But what else, if you were to like look ahead, if you're adding an Oba Brock match, for example, what else are you adding to this Mania? I know we still have a lot of ways to go, but, like, this far out.
I think you're getting Liv and Stephanie. I feel that's got more of the feud behind it. I think probably Jade. I think if Bianca is able, like, if she's fit and ready to do Chamber, that's the match I'd go to. But she's been out so long, I don't know if she's in the Mania plans. Whether you have, I don't think, like, I see the Bellas going for the tag titles at Mania. I think Bellas versus Rhea and Io is a waste of Rhea and Io. So whether you could do reheat the Io Kabuki Warriors thing, because now you've got the dissension with Kairi and Asuka. You could do a Io Asuka Kairi at Mania and then have Rhea go against Jade as, like, just a two, like, powerhouse match for that title. I feel you could do that. Has Rhea won the Chamber? I don't think so. So I think that could be an option potentially.
So, like, Liv basically on SmackDown showed up with Jade and said, like, I could be coming for you as well, right? So, like, are they going to do? They are doing a chamber because they had the qualifying matches.
Yeah.
So the winner of that gets a title shot too, right?
Of whoever's not been selected. Yeah.
Right. What if like the Rumble winner and the chamber winner both pick the same person? Are you allowed to do that? They should.
Maybe.
That's how you set up a triple threat. Yeah. It'd be all right. I feel like, I feel like Seth has to come back. So he's involved with, I don't know, Braun Breaker, I guess would be the match for that. Yeah. I don't know what else.
I feel there may be like, you know, I don't know what Seth's status is, but I think the doing the masked man thing is kind of a way to save yourself options where if Seth is healthy, Seth's the masked man. If he's not, Logan Paul's the masked man and you go for Logan and Braun or something like that, you know, like obviously not as good an option, but maybe they're playing Seth a little day by day at the moment.
Yeah. I imagine he comes back for WrestleMania. Like you would think like they got something in the plans for Braun or something, but the tag champions, what about that? Tag titles, does that even matter in WWE right now? Tag champions.
Jesus Christ. This was like the most depressing part of SmackDown for me was all these geeks of like Johnny Gargano, who is still in the tag division despite not having a tag partner.
Just tagging with Candice.
Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns. We saw Apollo randomly on the show earlier with Matt Cardona. It's like, man, this and just coinciding with that Ricochet tweet. And
is that why Apollo was on TV?
Maybe, but like for any like I thought the Ricochet tweet, I think he was right, but I don't think you should really speak for people. You know, I don't think that's particularly professional or cool to do. And I can imagine.
What did he say? What was the tweet that you're referring to?
So let me find it. So it was basically saying about you know, WWE sucked his soul and he had to get out of there and it diminished his legacy. And he says, and I know I'm not alone because Finn Balor, Nakamura, Apollo, Sami Zayn all feel the same. And then people were coming back being like, sorry, Sami Zayn, he's been great. And he's like, no, his best legacy is El Generico. This was, like being watered down and all that sort of stuff. So I think
I know what he's saying. I know. I get, you just said like, okay, what you're saying, true, but you shouldn't be speaking for other people. I completely agree with that. Yeah.
And
like, okay, if
Sammy did post an interview of Mike Tyson where he's asked about his legacy and he's like, I don't give a fuck about legacy. When I die, I die. Yeah. Like no one's going to remember you. And which don't necessarily fully agree with, but Sami Zayn posting that was kind of implying that, hey, don't talk about me and my legacy, essentially.
Like Ricochet definitely not one to put his foot in his mouth ever, right? So but if you're speaking for other people, okay. But he almost is working on Twitter. Like he almost is in character on social media. Like he's playing a heel because he is a fucking heel right now. So I don't know.
He is, but it's a little too easy sometimes to just be like, I'm being a heel. Like there's obviously definitely some truth in what he's saying. Yeah.
Sometimes I like this heel character. And again, I kind of agree with him and I kind of disagree with him. Like, okay, you watch a lot of wrestlers who made a name for themselves. I'm saying the word wrestler. I'm not talking about, you know, D1 athletes or whoever the fuck WWE find on a gridiron field. But like I'm talking about wrestlers who have come in before WWE. Maybe he's onto something there because personally, as a fan of outside of WWE wrestling, Nakamura came into WWE, had one good match, and then surfed for the last fucking 10 years, in my opinion, as a fan. Sami Zayn, okay, he's become one of the biggest stars in WWE, but maybe his like wrestling has been watered down. Is that what he's trying to say? Like, oh, your legacy. So I don't know. The guy's been more popular than fucking ever. Especially
I think Sami Zayn is the outlier. Like, yes, I think I think Apollo Crews, absolutely. Apollo Crews got called up in 2016. Called up.
Jeez.
Didn't start with the company, got called up in 2016. And what has he done? Okay, he had the IC title run with that Mania. I think that was the...
He's done nothing. He's done
nothing, really.
So.
And like in the like prime athletically of his career, you know, age-wise, like just wasted away. Johnny Gargano, you know, we were massive fans of. I hate him as a heel. I think he's not good as a heel. And then looking back, like times in NXT, the reveal was cool, but I didn't really enjoy him as a heel in NXT. Like it just felt backwards with him being the heel against Ciampa. And like now he's just, you know, Ciampa's thriving on AEW and Gargano's literally laying on a box saying NXT. Like, is
shipped
that
to OVW?
Yeah, is that a symbol? Like, is he going to be helping out that men's division, going after Joe Hendry or something on NXT? Because
like, fuck off. Like, I don't want to. I love Johnny. I absolutely love Johnny. I'll die on that hill. But no, you're not going back to NXT again. Like, no.
Yeah.
Fucking no, dude. If they don't want to book
you
on that show,
then you're this fucking dork on SmackDown. Like all these guys, like Fraxium, like Nathan Fraser and Axiom are so good. Like how they were our tag team of the year for 2024.
Yeah.
What have they done? Like Machine Guns, you got them there. You've got this tag division with fantastic people in who aren't wrestling. They're just stuck in these terrible, terrible backstage segments. And it's just like that. There was so many times on SmackDown this week where, yes, I don't think it's right speaking for other people, but you got to go. You watch the show and you're like Ricochet's 100% correct when you're looking at some of these wrestlers and what they're doing on this show.
It's so weird because I completely agree with him, but you shouldn't be speaking for other people, and that's probably where maybe that Sami Zayn thing is wrong. Because I'll say, like, you know what? When you watch old things from outside of WWE before, like, maybe people are more in it, and that's what got them to the dance in the first place. Like Nakamura in New Japan was fucking awesome, and then you watch him in WWE, you're like, what happened here? I thought the same thing with Ricochet. When we would watch Ricochet on the Indies or Lucha or wherever the hell he wrestled, and you'd be like, holy shit. And then WWE, it was a letdown, at least as a fan. For me, I'd say for a majority of anyone who had buzz before WWE and then you get to WWE, it takes a while, at least when it was the Vince years of like, he hates when you got over by yourself. So you then had like an even bigger hill to climb of like trying to get over the way you're supposed to, if that makes sense. But you shouldn't speak for other people. That's definitely
I mean, I think it is something that like Triple H's bookings definitely got worse over the years, but I think his call-ups, like recently, have been more effective. I think Oba seems like a big star. The way they've been treating Trick has been great. Like Carmelo and Ilya, like the open challenge thing, just allowing these great wrestlers to wrestle and get over that way has been pretty effective. But I mean, Johnny Gargano's been like DOA for a few years now at this point.
Like they literally are shipping
like there's so many damaged goods of just great wrestlers in this company.
So I agree with Ricochet, but maybe he's also he is poking the bear. He is being a little shit. So like I kind of like it, but same thing. You know how the Kendrick Drake feud started? The Drake Kendrick feud started. It was because Drake did a song with J. Cole, and in the song Drake said, it's just the big three. It's me, J. Cole, and Kendrick. And Kendrick was like, yeah. You don't speak for fucking me. And that is how that started. It's kind of the same. Sammy's like, whoa, I'm making lots of money. I'm super famous. You don't speak for me. Like, what are you doing here? So Sami Zayn versus Ricochet in AEW in like 3 years, all in, book it. When Sammy finally doesn't win the championship next year in Saudi, then he can go be with his friends in All Elite, which will never happen. But I don't know. Ricochet has been doing good stuff in AEW since this heel run, but sometimes wrestlers don't need to go on Twitter maybe as much.
Like I I don't think his Twitter personality is too much of a gimmick. I do just think that's him. And then his character on AEW is an extension of that. Because you look at the way Samantha tweets as well, it's the same. It's obnoxious. It's like, yeah, maybe saying some truths, but there's certain ways you can say your truths as well.
Yeah. I just like how he, I will say Ricochet's really good at tweeting at old WWE referees. That's what he's good
at. Yes. Yeah. Big win there.
Any like I see in the chat, Chris in the chat bringing up the War Raiders. I will say I saw a glimpse of them on Monday, and I was like, you guys are got to be gone, right? Like, why
getting
are you
murdered like by Obafemi?
The tag, yeah. Not only did one of them get killed, like both of them, like they're gonna be cut pretty quickly, I would imagine. Like I was a big fan. There again, I was a big fan of War Machine before WWE. I'm not saying they were huge stars or anything, but I liked them. And WWE definitely, since main roster, like I've not even thought about them. So
it's weird because when Eric was out, they did some great rehab with Ivar. Like he was having those matches on Raw, and they were actually like little highlights every week. Yeah. Like right towards the end of the USA Network run of Raw, like Ivar, and Chad Gable, like really got over. And there was such a great opportunity for when his partner came back for them to be fresh and taken seriously. Again, like you've got all these incredible tag teams there, but just complete jokes now.
I mean, think of War Machine versus Ricochet and Aleister Black, right? Takeover New York, like underrated tag team match. And then they didn't do anything after that, really. I mean, I think back to War Raiders playing basketball, and I was like, cool, you're done. You're done. Now you've crossed the line, and now people see you that way. FTR was the same thing. Vince was like, oh yeah, fuck you guys. The Usos are going to catch you shaving each other's backs to hopefully make people think you're fucking jokes. And then they walked and they left, and have since fixed their stand and where they are in the pecking order and proved that and stuff. But War Raiders, I'm not necessarily saying, oh, leave WWE and go, but like the tag team division has been dead in the water for what seems like a long time. When I watched Obafemi just completely run through both of those dudes, I was like, what the hell did you do? I thought Triple H loves the Vikings and shit. So what happened?
It's weird. It's like they're just incapable of having all their balls in the air at the same time. Like there was around leading up to WrestleMania last year, the SmackDown tag division was pretty good and they were starting to be serious. You had those great TLC matches they had. It felt like it was starting to like catch steam and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, we should probably focus on the women's tag team division, and you just drop everything you got there. It's, oh, we're not really taking the US title that seriously. Let's bolster that. Oh, but in the meantime, we'll just forget about the women's US title or whatever. They can't seem to book all of them strong at the same time. There's got to be a sacrifice, which you've got too much hours of TV to have that happen. Like they should all feel important. They should all feel big.
Like I definitely there's things I've been liking about WWE in just the month of January in 2026, but they do still fall back into the classic like WWE tropes and everything. I wouldn't say Raw and SmackDown this week was like, oh my god, outside of the CM Punk Roman Reigns, like that was really, really good to set up that match, and I think tells you as fans, whether you're casual or not, like this is the big match you should be getting psyched up for in a few months. So I thought they really, really hit that on the head, like nailed that to like, again, sorry, Finn Balor. I don't care how good the match is, but you're not winning. And the match is Punk and Roman. So I think that's off to the races. Like I kind of said last week, or at least on Tuesday when we talked about it, like the match itself, sure, it could be fine. But I think it's the promos between these two is what really this story is going to like have big impact, is like the talking points with these two guys more so than the actual like wrestling for me. And I would imagine Roman goes over. So make Roman look strong in the end.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know if more so because I don't know if we actually need a Roman title reign of some sort right now.
I just don't know if Punk can keep going. How long is he going to keep doing this? How many more Manias do we have Punk for? Does he go away? Does he come back?
Does he can keep going? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's been having some good stuff recently.
Until Gunther retires him.
Yeah.
In a few years.
Something I found interesting on SmackDown this week is Nakamura still kind of doing his, it's like he's turned back the clock. He's taken the shirt off. After that AJ match, he's trying to present himself as
10 years later,
New Japan Nakamura as best as he can in 2026. Had a match with Tama Tonga. It was kind of set up the other week. They were speaking in Japanese and talked about history together. And the MFTs cost him the match. And now, does Nakamura need some friends? And could some of his friends be recent New Japan free agents? Evil, Sanada, Hiromu?
All right. Well, 1 out of 3 there is good, I guess. I didn't want to watch Sanada or Evil in New Japan. I definitely don't want to watch them on SmackDown. But hey,
I think you're going
to. They're Japanese and he's Japanese. Fuck it. Let's make them friends, right?
They're in different stables, but they'll be friends.
Triple H playbook 101 there. Oh, you're Japanese. You were in New Japan. Fuck it. You guys are together. Yeah, I could not give a fuck about any of that. I like Hiromu. I want to see Hiromu do better than whatever he was doing the last few years, but I don't want to watch Evil. I don't even want to watch Nakamura. Like this is him on his last strike. He's just doing it because the AJ thing or something. I don't know what this is, but it feels weird. It's like how many different times have they tried with him? And then you get a glimpse. Okay, this could be interesting. And then no, it's not. It's like they've done that. It's a little too late, I think, for me. But bringing in Evil and
do you see it happening though? Whether you want to see it or not, do you see it happening?
Sure. I just don't see Sanada Evil like getting over. Like, what are they gonna do? Have matches with Tama Tonga and these jamokes? Like,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly
like,
what they're gonna do.
This can't be good. This sounds like torture. This House of Torture, there pun, but this literally sounds like punishment. I don't.
I don't particularly care to see it, but I think we're getting it. I think from the fact that Nakamura is on his own feuding against this group, that they've, recognized the history of Nakamura and Tama Tonga knowing each other in Japan. And I think Evil, I think the presentation would excite them. The entrance of Evil and his outfits and that kind of thing, I think would be enough to, at least on first few weeks, people that don't know who he is be like, oh, who's this guy? And it could just be Evil, but you do have, Sanada and Hiromu not signed with anywhere right now or coming up very soon. I wonder if they'd want to just do it so you can do the 8-man tag.
It's looking like, okay, don't take this as gospel. I'm just seeing stuff. It's looking like Hiromu might be doing Noah, but Noah did do stuff with WWE recently. So there is
Hiromu's been working with Noah recently as well.
I would say I'm not when it comes to ringing the bell, Evil and Sanada, definitely not my cup of tea. But I will say that aesthetically, two very good looking wrestling. Like Evil looks the part of this wrestler, and so does Sanada. He could teach Seth a few things about the drip, even. So aesthetically pleasing wrestlers, but when it comes to the actual wrestling, and hell, this is WWE. The promo games
sounds like WWE to me.
Yeah, it's not sounding good. All of this sounds really bad. I don't want to watch the MFTs or the bad what are they called? The NFTs?
MFTs.
Those guys. I don't want to watch them wrestle anyone or anything. And now you're telling me, but they're gonna wrestle Evil and Sanada. It's like, holy shit. This is the cherry on top of a pile of shit that I'm like, wow, okay, you've somehow made this even worse. Of the MFT guys, now we're gonna fight Evil and Sanada. It's so bad that maybe I do have to watch, but I don't know. I guess Nakamura does need some friends, but holy shit, you're telling me Sanada, Evil, Hiromu, Naito, all these people are gone from New Japan. What even is New Japan? Is it even Japanese wrestling anymore? When I tune in now, it's just a bunch of white guys wrestling. Ospreay's young boys, essentially. So what has happened to the Nuge? I'm
maybe it'll be good for them. Not in the immediate time, but you've had all your guys leave. It forces these other people to break through, and maybe not now, but see it like when a football team or hockey team or whatever, and they get out everyone. It's like we're starting with kids. We got a 5-year plan. Like we ain't gonna win. We're not going to win the Stanley Cup this year, but the aim is in 3 to 5 years we do. So
what's New Japan?
Maybe it's a good thing, but not for the immediate.
What the hell is their 5-year plan? Don't die? Like, please don't die. Please don't go under. Please, we have to stay through. I feel like they're in a lot of trouble, but this could be good for them. Like we've seen, if you look at the waves of the years before the big, Tanahashi Okada kind of thing, like there were these like dark periods and stuff. So maybe it is a time for them to come back. But I almost feel bad for them because everyone's leaving. Like New Japan, what happened? Like you just had a huge show. So if you find yourself feeling bad about New Japan and like, oh, what's going to happen? Just look at what Okada or hear or read what Okada had to say about his experience just January 4th. At the Tokyo Dome. Did you see this clip? I don't know where the interview is from, so I apologize. But I saw this and I went, you know what, New Japan, get fucked. Because Okada said after his match, he went back and no one came up to him to say thank you. No one checked on him. No one, nothing. Because he's AEW and all that. He's like, guys, I fucking sold this out for you. And worked so hard in this match. And no one gave me any thanks. No, nothing. So he left being pretty upset that night. Oh, that's got to tell you everything you need to know about what's happening in New Japan. Why would people like Evil and Sonata and Hiromu and Naito leave? If they don't feel like they're being treated well, then fuck it. And New Japan is definitely fucked for the next little while. They're definitely going to feel it in the next little while. Who's going to be in the G1? All of Ospreay's friends that he's helped get jobs in New Japan? Like who else? All the Finleys, like who? There's no one there. Shingo versus
there's no Finleys.
There's right, even he's gone. Even the Finley is gone. That's how fucking bad it is. Fuck, that's tough. But it does not make me want to watch Evil and Sonata on SmackDown. But fuck it, we ball. Let's see it happen.
Big E officially announced his retirement this week.
Saw this tweet. Very sad.
I entered the pro wrestling industry at age 23 with an injury history that included torn left ACL, torn right ACL, torn left pec, and a broken right patella. At 39, I'm well aware that I will one day have to pay the piper. I've put my body through a lot, and somehow I feel great. I don't battle daily pain. I'm able to function normally and healthfully. I'm eternally grateful for the wonderful career I stumbled into. I pray for all my fellow athletes and performers who have not had the same good fortune. A sincere thank you to everyone who has taken the time to follow my in-ring career. It was an immeasurable gift to get to perform for you all.
Pretty sad. I know most fans, maybe we kind of thought that. Maybe we thought he wouldn't be wrestling again. Pretty sad situation.
Sad to get the confirmation.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, the guy seems like he's one of the most likable dudes backstage. He just oozes charisma. Everything. It's just a bad situation all around. You feel for this guy totally, and I'm sure he'll have a role in whatever he wants. Like he's so charismatic, he could be doing other stuff outside of wrestling, and talking is definitely a strong suit, I would imagine. But all the power, all the flowers.
The positive is like he seems healthy, and saying he's not in pain and all that, and
right.
I'm sure he's financially very stable, you would hope, from all those years with WWE as well, and still with the company, still doing the panels and stuff. But yeah, it's sad to get the confirmation. I think we all wanted that, New Day reunion. Fuck, Xavier and Kofi need it. And he was a world champion at one point. Like there was a higher ceiling for him, I think, as well. I don't think that was the best title run he had, but
No.
I could have seen him having another one down the line.
I think the New Day as a whole unit could have had this whole like comeback, especially, but
yeah,
I feel for the guy. It's such a bad situation. You know, we've talked about when that happened. It feels like so long ago with Ridge Holland and everything. And I think people were pretty hard on him, but he had a bit of a track record for not only injuring people, but himself. And now he doesn't even work there, full stop. And we've seen them throw people into the swimming pool deep end when maybe they weren't ready to swim too much. And I think that's definitely when people bring up, and I couldn't even imagine some of the stuff Ridge Holland has gotten on social media or whatever with people throwing hate his way. And I know he's said in interviews how bad he feels and everything and whatnot. And it's just a bad situation kind of all around. Power to Big E, man. I hope he finds his peace and out there. He's the power of positivity. So I know he's going to remain positive, but it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Before we move away from WWE, I believe you finished WWE Unreal this week.
Yes, I caught up on WWE Unreal Season 2 on Netflix. You know, I was seeing a lot of the clips. I enjoyed Season 1, but I was seeing a lot of clips for Season 2, and it really wasn't selling me on this. It was showing me a lot of Bruce Pritchard and Road Dogg and Seth Rollins trying to fake an injury. So I was like, I don't know about this. So there was a lot of the stuff in this show like that I don't like. But you know what? In the show, there's a lot of stuff I do like. When I just wrote down thoughts as I kind of watched it.
Yeah, go for it.
Becky and Seth, showing the relationship there, showing their like little wedding in 2021, showing like just like I've said it when we've seen them on screen as a couple, like that is genuine and that is fucking cool. And I don't even think we didn't deserve to see like some of their, we don't need to see some of their wedding stuff, but I like the fact that there's some love and positivity in this world of wrestling.
Yeah, didn't Becky come across as like the nicest fucking person?
Yeah,
as well. Like, you know, when they were obviously she plays a heel at the moment, and there were those Becky Hogan talks, and you get no sense that she's a Hogan backstage in the slightest. Right. And it's I found it cool seeing someone on her level, you know, still doubting their work, being upset when something goes wrong, and you know, she I don't think it was on the show, but getting that reassurance from John Cena about one of her matches. And it kind of, it makes you see the real person, the Rebecca Quinn a lot more.
Yeah, no, I thought she came across really nice and really like sweet. And I don't know, cares about the business, cares about a lot of the other people, the future of the business. And like, I liked how they gave the little story, Triple H explaining like the when the bloody nose and the man and all that kind of stuff. And the Irish jig and everything. Yeah. Like she is someone who's really like become one of the biggest stars. And you kind of, again, I like seeing things like this on that show. Something I didn't like from episode 1 is we go from this heartfelt story about Seth and Becky and love and all that nice stuff to, you know what Backlash really needs? Pat McAfee wrestling. It's like, wait, what? Sorry? Some of these conferences and backstage meetings with Triple H and his creative team, they're like, how do we freshen up Backlash? Yeah, Pat McAfee. That's how we freshen it up. It's like this show loves to not tell you things, but then tell you what you should hear and what they want you to hear. For example, hey, what if we just got Pat McAfee? Oh yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah, that's probably not how that happened. Oh, Jelly Roll just asked if he could be involved. Yeah, that's not how that happened at all. You're telling me that, hey, what if I could just have a match? No. The things don't just, oh yeah, we just thought we'd give him this chance. No. That's not how that works. But them explaining, like,
you don't think a super fan of wrestling who's got a huge name and following behind them who wants to do it,
sure,
you think it's the other way around?
That is the way that they explained it in this show. Absolutely not. They just totally beat around the bush of like, this is how we got here. It cuts to, what can we do? You know, Backlash is hard. It's after WrestleMania, rematches. How do we keep things fresh? Pat McAfee. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And then it cuts to them planning for the match. It's like, okay, sure. Yeah, everyone's really excited. Michael Cole is, I guess, because it's his friend. So I didn't necessarily like that of episode 1.
I liked that. I quite enjoyed the Pat McAfee stuff. I
didn't,
thought
but That's fine.
I thought Michael Cole was great in the build. Like, I thought it was a good sort of side mission for Gunther to like kind of move away from the Jey Uso loss. And I don't know, I quite enjoyed that. I liked the whole angle when they first did it with Michael Cole, and then Michael Cole backstage being like genuinely like pissed off, like, no, I'm gonna finish my job and go out there. I thought it was pretty effective.
What about who was the guy who was like, yeah, Gunther should lose? And then they were like, yo, what the fuck? No.
Was that Ed Fahy or like, I think it was that guy.
It's too easy. Like, everyone will know it's predictable. So let's have Gunther win. And everyone is like, he already lost to Jey Uso. I don't know if we should do that. But yeah, I thought that was a little weird, but I know what you mean, because Michael Cole seemed very emotional and genuine, talking about like, this is my friend. I got him this job here, like in WWE and everything. So I totally get that. And, you know, like we've said, we're not necessarily fans. We didn't know a lot about Pat beforehand, but when he came into WWE, he brought this like electricity and everything. Like, you can't deny that. Like, I like him in WWE, no problem.
I do like the history stuff they do as well. Like you said it with Becky, but also with Pat, showing him like, oh, I started off being like pre-show panelist for NXT, and now I'm having matches at WrestleMania and Backlash and these kind of stuff. I thought was pretty cool.
So can't wait for the Peter Rosenberg match at WrestleMania coming soon, right? That's probably what's next, right? When's Mr. Beast getting involved? That's next season. Episode 2 was a lot of the focus on R-Truth and Road Dogg. And again, like, Road Dogg gets a lot of slack and a lot of hate, sometimes rightfully so, but you do know the history of like them being kind of boys. And I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to, you know, all this stuff with him being, you know, sorry, I can't say him being released, because this is another it's all part of the show situation here, where I enjoyed them explaining the history of R-Truth. And then I also they show that they had this whole concert and everything for him. Like, I liked the stuff about R-Truth kind of getting some flowers, but it is kind of weird seeing like Triple H basically saying to him multiple times, oh, hey man, it's so glad you're here. Love you so much. Yeah. You know, it was just business. It was just business. It's kind of like, fuck, man. It doesn't feel very, I don't know. It doesn't feel very.
I thought, they came across so badly. You know, it's, we just weren't meeting at numbers. You know, oh, what, your $1 billion company wanted to underpay him? Okay, you're the bad guys here, guys.
I didn't necessarily like that too much. Like, they did a good job of baby facing R-Truth, but then they totally like shot themselves in the foot. Triple H just, I feel like watching this show, or just maybe watching wrestling for so long, you can tell when later in an episode, Becky's really emotional before a match. She's setting up and she's explaining to Triple H like, oh, the last time I was here, my dad was here and now he's passed away. And Triple H doesn't say, oh, I'm so sorry, or hug her. He's like, you need a moment? Yeah, cool, whatever. And like fucking walks away. I was like, whoa, clearly you don't like her very much, because you didn't. Like, I don't care if you're a coworker or someone you just met. If someone just says, yeah, last time I was here, my dad was there and I'm pretty emotional right now. He's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Anyways, I got to go do stuff. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, it shows he's a boss more than your compadre, I guess, sometimes. But trying to think of what else happened in episode 2. Road Dogg, obviously, with R-Truth.
I thought Road Dogg came across like absolutely terrible at his job and shouldn't be working there. Seems like quite a nice guy as well on the other side of it.
I agree. Now, I don't know if is he still working as creative since this?
Oh yeah, still SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think there's a few times in this series, this season, that he comes across maybe a bit out of his depth, but he did come across as a sincere person and cared about R-Truth. So like, it's funny though, because in many clips, he's like, he's my friend and he's emotional and like whatever. And then in another clip, he's like, business is business. I don't care if he got released. It's like, wait a second, you're kind of contradicting yourself, but it's a show. So something else I found interesting is when John Cena is brought up in episode 2, and they outright tell us like this Cena heel run sucked. Like, they tell us that this was a bad creative idea. Like, they kind of dance around it, but you hear from different people if it's off comments that like, the John Cena heel run was a bust, essentially. And what I thought was interesting was John Cena is on his last run. His matches are being produced by Ken Doane. Did you notice that? One of the producers, Kenny from the Spirit Squad. Now, that's a little awkward because if you know some of your WWE TMZ, Kenny and John Cena had a bit of a connection back in the 2000s. Cena maybe did some things that Ken Doane wasn't too happy about, I'm sure, involving his partner, relationships and stuff. And here he is producing his matches. So Ken Doane is a bigger man than I am, because I don't know if I'd be able to do stuff like that, but fuck it. I didn't realize Kenny Dykstra was producing for WWE, but fuck it. Bless his heart. I always liked him, but yeah, I'm pretty sure allegedly, John Cena and Mickie James had a big famous affair where Ken Doane was on the opposite side of that, the wrong side of it, essentially. But here he is producing Cena's last run, and he's probably like, for fuck's sake, gotta do this. Or maybe it didn't bother him. I don't know. Maybe he's a bigger man than I am. But we saw Trinity with the title and the briefcase, and then her talking about walking out, and Michael Hayes basically being like, fuck that. these quitters. They did mention Sasha, but what did you think of them talking about the like walkout?
I was surprised, actually. I didn't think they'd bring it up. It was like, yes, they mentioned Sasha Banks. It felt a little bit too dancing around the subject, where I don't know if it was worth bringing up. Like, if you're going to bring it up, tell us the story. Like, Naomi doesn't really say why she walked out. You know, it's left for you as the audience. And I'm thinking, if I'm someone who is just turning on Netflix, and there are people that watch this without watching the product at all, or don't go on the internet to read the sheets of what's happening and stuff. So if I was watching it without knowledge, I'd just be like, sorry, why did you walk out? I don't understand. And then them dancing around it by going, oh, you know, we weren't in charge then. It was a different people. It's like, okay, so, but what happened? It's, whereas we can put 2 and 2 together, can't we? Like, with why things went down. Like, it's clearly more than just, we were the tag champions and we were put in a match against each other. Like, it feels like it's a bigger story than that. And I found it interesting that they brought it up, but I was kind of like, just fill us in or don't tell us at all.
Yeah, that's fair, because they basically were trying to paint her as like a villain almost, but then being like, no, it's going to be part of this redemption arc where she's going to come back. But they beat around the bush of like, why did you walk out and all that stuff. But that was a different time, different owner, different boss. Yeah, like, you know, I think back to whenever the old wrestling days, Freebirds and stuff. Fuck yeah, Michael Hayes. But modern day Michael Hayes definitely gives me some sus vibes. I like the way he dresses, but
I think all of them need to go. All of them need to go.
Yeah, I think he needs to go. I think a lot of these old heads need to go. I don't know. I have even Triple H. I have things in the history of being a fan where I like him, but maybe more or less than positives. And I think that about Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard. I'm like, man, like you guys been the showrunners for too long. Maybe we try some new things. I don't know.
I think it's just, we see it more in maybe the press conferences than this show, but Triple H has such thin skin when it comes to criticism and things like that. Like, even the Cena turn, there was a way to make that work, and they just didn't. You know, they were. I do think that promo, like, for what they were given, being like, oh, you're a babyface again, Cena did about as good as you could have done with that shitty situation. But why are we in that shitty situation in the first place? And it's kind of like passing the buck a bit. Triple H just, Oh no, just no one wanted to see him as a heel. Like, I think a lot of people were very interested in seeing a heel John Cena, but it was very clear, and they've told us on this program that we hadn't thought it out. We didn't know where we were going. And again, it's one of those things where they very much simplify it for us, but us being a bit more like locked in, we know more of the ins and outs. We know that, you know, the story was originally with Rock and Travis Scott, and then it wasn't, and that kind of thing. So they just went to a very generic "you people" storyline, which should have happened 15 years ago. His heel character just made no sense, and then decided to wrestle a very boring style, where like us as an audience are going, fuck, have they done this because John just can't go anymore? And then we saw from SummerSlam onwards, he could absolutely go. But yeah, it was just one of those things like, wait, what happened here? They just be like, oh, it just people didn't want to see it. Like, it's own up to you. Like, why did it go wrong? It's because your creative fucking sucked. Because you
that's definitely this show. Like this show, they tell you what they want you to know, and then they hide everything else. And that's why, like, this show is unreal. This show is fake. This is as real as watching wrestling on a Monday and Friday night. Like, as me watching, there's a lot of cool stuff in this. So I still love the production. I still like even if you're not a wrestling fan, maybe you could get into this because it's like it's showing you pulling the curtain back, sure, and showing you all these things that you might not know how the sausages are made. And sometimes I don't need to know everything that goes in the sausage. As long as it's edible, it's not going to kill me, and it's good, and I like it, it's tasty, fuck it. You know, we ball. But there's a lot of stuff in this show that they definitely don't, they omit because they don't want it. You'll have little throwaway comments through every episode of like, Cena didn't like the main event of Mania. Okay, can we talk about that? Nah, I'm not going to talk about that. Oh, well, why didn't he like? No, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, they say it like Cody and Cena really felt like they need to make up for their WrestleMania.
It's like, oh yeah, what happened? I don't know. We're gonna go talk about something else. We're not gonna talk.
Oh, about like was it because Travis Scott took 10 minutes to get to the ring?
Yeah,
why don't part of it? And
fuck it. Why don't you just explain
the overbooking nonsense?
Like, explain. Hey, Travis Scott walked out. Like
we fucked up. We came up with this idea and we had no plan. Like I have so much more respect for them if they said that. Like we thought we might have these people, and then we were scrambling and we failed. We failed on creative. Like, you know, they're very happy to show us. They were very happy showing us LA Knight forgetting what the finish of the Money in the Bank was and making him out to be like an idiot because, oh man, this moment was for you and you fucked it. Like they could have had, like, I'd have respected this show so much more being like, we really failed John and Cody, and we could have tried to spend time telling a story of John's turn, but we just thought we've got so little time left. Let's just do a factory reset here and move on and try to make better for the second half of this run. But we failed John. We failed John. We failed Cody. And we owed it to them to book this match for SummerSlam. Not they owed it to the fans for a better match. I think that kind of honesty, like if you're honest about those kind of stuff, it makes you believe some of the bullshit they might be peddling elsewhere.
They shovel so much bullshit in this show. Like, again, I still enjoyed this show. And if you're like, I'd say if you're a WWE fan, I'm not saying a wrestling fan. If you're a WWE fan, I think the show is great for you because, again, it shows you a little bit behind the show and it makes some stories and makes things even more like serious. Now, there is behind the scenes stuff, the Becky stuff, the Lyra stuff, like emotional stuff is really good to show. In fact, that could be the best to help get these characters over in the future. Like seeing how emotional Lyra gets about a match fucking up would make you maybe want to root for her, connect with her even on a better level. And that's the stuff I like from this show. But it's the circle jerk of Triple H just beating himself off fucking every second he can. You just said, like, why can't, if you're taking time out of this show to show us where someone like an LA Knight fucked up a finish, why aren't you showing all the other fuck ups? In fact, way bigger fuck ups than that. Like, but you don't because Triple H would never think do that.
Anyone watched that Money in the Bank and when that end was weird. Like,
no, I do remember. I think I actually I think everyone was like, oh, that was kind of a lackluster ending. So maybe it was, but not necessarily like, oh my God, did you see LA Knight fuck that up? No one was talking about that. Everybody this year was talking about Triple H fucking up a whole lot of creative. They didn't reference that once, other than a throwaway comment about Cena and Cody not liking what was going on. So I thought that was fucked. And then if you want to, like, Triple H is so funny. He's like, I got this idea. We're gonna create this story about Seth Rollins, and we're not gonna tell anybody. And then it's pretty much shot like an episode of The Office, because you have Michael Scott being like, "Hey, everybody, don't tell anybody this secret." And then the next thing is, "So, John, I think I got to tell you, because Seth is, hey, Cody, can I talk to you for a minute? Hey, Bobby, can I tell?" Dude, you said you're not going to tell anyone. You told everyone. It's just, you're snitching on yourself there, Triple H. Just him whispering things to people is just so fucking funny. Yeah, this is a big circle jerk for Triple H. I get it, but I also don't. Something I think my favorite whole thing of this season, Penta in Mexico, showing his gym, showing his daughter, showing wrestling over 20 years to finally get to WWE. The backstage stuff after his Raw debut, saying thank you, it's an honor to work for, like, we've been knowing that this guy is awesome, and to see just something behind the scenes of him training kids, him and his daughter doing the Penta walk. Like, I joked all these years ago when WWE 24 of like, I just want a Grand Metalik documentary. I want to see this lucha stuff. And like, I felt like I got some of that in this, and like, I just wanted a whole episode dedicated to this guy, because I thought that was really interesting. Like, seeing his rise through the years to make it to WWE, and I don't know, like, going forward, the positivity of like, look, he's training kids in his gym in Mexico on his days off and shit like that. I thought that was pretty great and inspiring to see. And the whole Zero Mirror, like, this guy is so hot right now. You see Paul Heyman in this clip being like, we got something with this guy. So we may have lost your favorite, who is the guy in AEW?
Alex Abrahantes?
Yeah, we may have lost Abrahantes, but imagine Paul Heyman with Penta. Now that sounds good. So book it.
I don't think so at all. Like, I think Penta should just talk. Like, remember his debut where he got on the mic? And even here, like, he has enough English and he's cool as fuck. I think he'd get over way more doing that. Like, I need less Paul Heyman on my screen.
I do too.
I'm a big fan of him, but he needs to step away for a little bit to make us miss him.
I completely agree. I think he's become too comfortable coasting a little bit with this, whatever it is that he's doing. But I thought the Penta stuff was good. It segued into Chelsea talking about how people always bring up her match with Penta from Lucha Underground. So I thought that was cool. Then it shows the Chelsea thing. Like, I like Chelsea Green, but I didn't necessarily like the episode with her, because it's like, I make money now, I'm rich, look at my house, and all this stuff. I was like, all right, cool, but can I like learn a bit about you? No, just gonna tell you that she's successful now. And I was like, okay. So I didn't necessarily like the parts with her. I hated seeing her get kicked in the face by Zelina. Totally felt for her. Zelina, bless her, but she ain't a wrestler, man. Like, that was a brutal 619. Like, when it happened, we talked about it, but watching it with 7 different angles in slow-mo on this show, girl, you fucking botched and then just decided to kick this lady in the face. Like, I don't think she should be out there, especially in a platform like this. Like, she's maybe better off being a manager. I thought that was awful. Like, I think Chelsea had every right to be upset, and she didn't come across that way after the fact, but like, you botched the move and then decided, actually, I'm just going to still kick you in the face. Like, you already fucked it up. Thought that was pretty brutal. What else did we have on that episode 3? We had, that was pretty much, we had the LA Knight stuff we just referenced, right? Episode 4, I thought this was, again, talking about Paul Heyman, but him bringing up the Sandman. We've all known about the Sandman thing where he got injured with a cigarette in the eye, and now he was off. He stayed in his house and yada, yada, yada. Performance art. I love Paul Heyman explaining this. It's awesome when he has like stories to tell. But comparing that to the Seth Rollins injury, it's like, fuck, okay. I wasn't too high on the jelly roll stuff, but also it was endearing enough that it was fine. Like,
Yeah, I found it kind of interesting watching him training, watching him drop that weight. I think that's stuff that a non-wrestling audience would really appreciate and enjoy.
I think he took it seriously. I think he really.
It reminds me when you watch those shows like Dancing with the Stars, and you're watching them training, and you're watching them over time becoming better. You know, you see the weight of him when he first came out at that SummerSlam, and then you're seeing him, you know, do a role for the first time in training, and then the clips of him taking a table bump and that. I thought it was kind of cool. And I think that's definitely stuff that non-fans would find interesting.
Like the stuff of, what did Triple H call him? The sloppy Dusty?
Yeah.
I liked that stuff. I liked how he came across. Like he does seem like he's got this crazy story, you know, broke and homeless. And
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And what I find interesting is people like him, Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, you can tell they're fans of wrestling because it's like the showbiz side that they kind of get. Like they might not be the best wrestler in the world, but they know, like Jelly Roll has watched Mankind being thrown off the cell and being stretchered off and then coming back. So he's like, I know how to do that. I know how to like get off and throw the like paramedics off me and start hobbling to the ring again. And it's, you know, Logan's just, his natural heel work is very good. And I think that's something that just us as fans, like we all know how to pose as a wrestler and stuff like that because we've watched it all our lives. And I think that comes across with these three more so than some of your other celebrities they've got in before who have never watched the product and just don't know what they're doing.
I thought he looked good. Randy Orton was like, oh, I wasn't sure about it at first, but he really put the work in. He might be the best celebrity to ever get in the ring. I was like, pause, Randy. Come on. Now you're talking crazy. Yeah. You're talking reckless, Randy. Get out of here. Just because you like his music. You know, Bad Bunny was pretty good, though. But all the power to Jelly Roll. Like, that guy lost a lot of weight. And definitely, I think when we watched it, we were like, oh, that was all right. It was pretty fun. Like, whether or not you knew who he was beforehand. But then they go into the Seth injury. This was the big part of the show I didn't necessarily like, where they're really trying to get over like the protecting the gimmick and the injury. And Seth has this quote here that says, if you see everything that we do, it becomes boring. I literally paused my Netflix and had a laugh because I'd say over the last 5 to 10 years of Seth being one of the main guys, he has been a very predictable character, a very like coasting character in the WWE. I like the fact that they did this angle. Now, of course, our friend John Pollock ruined it for us and many, so it's his fault, really. Outside of that, like the way that they're treating this was creative, was smart that they went through this. It's just a shame our friend John was just too intuitive watching this and ruined it because I don't know if we're just because we're smart fans or even if, you know, post wrestling and John kind of outing this and stuff, like we've gone over this a bunch. I don't think it landed the way they're explaining in this show it did. But to him, hey, we got this big reaction and the pop and everything, so it worked. But I don't know. Is that magic of editing in this show, or are we just cynical that we didn't bite on this kind of surprise? Where are you with that? Because it did make me feel two ways about it.
I don't mind the idea of it, like at all. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. Mine was the actual execution of the reveal that I thought sucked and made the whole injury angle make no sense. Like, why are you going to these lengths if you're gonna surprise CM Punk for 5 minutes walking down to the ring?
Yeah,
you know, that stuff didn't land with me. I thought they could have pulled the trigger at the end a lot better. And there are a lot of people who aren't clued in like us, you know, don't listen to podcasts, don't read wrestling news sites and that kind of stuff, who just watch it weekly. And as far as they're concerned, Seth was injured. So I think I don't mind the fake injury thing. I think that's kind of cool. I think, you know, kayfabe is dead. And they're trying to find different ways to keep things interesting and keep the fans guessing and surprises still. So I appreciate that. I just think an execution could have been a lot better.
Yeah. I like this show, and I like the fact that we can pull the curtain and see things like when pyro goes off, everyone covers their ears, and the way people talk to the ref and things like that. You're learning, you see how this like production is created. Again, the sausages are made, but then this show is explaining how we get away with these things. It's like you're giving away a lot of this stuff that if you were to try this in the future, it's going to make people even more skeptical. And maybe it was because we were like not believing that this was a real injury, but I don't know. I felt this was the faker part of the series of like Seth really going over it. But maybe I'm just, the more everyone came across, like hearing Lyra, hearing Becky, hearing a lot of people talk on the show made me be like, oh, I feel for you. I connect with you. You're likable. Hearing Seth, not the same for me. Like I think the opposite. I feel like you don't come across as a good dude, and you come across kind of like egotistical and like you're the main guy. And I don't necessarily feel that at the end of this series. So I didn't like that part of it, but maybe that's because it's like them pushing the, like, we worked you, we got everybody, we got you. It's like, well, I don't know if you did though. I don't know if you did, but if you tell us that you did, then it happened. And that's what this show is like. If we tell you it happened, then of course that's what actually happened. So episode 5 was like the last one. It was them going over the Seth stuff and where the future goes, and then the zip ties with Lyra, which was pretty unfortunate. But the best part was them fast forwarding over Cardi B showing up in SummerSlam. Like, Cardi B, bless her heart.
How about Randy Orton?
Cardi B can't even remember her lines, so they had someone with cue cards, and she can't even read the cue cards. Like, what a terrible. So I like Cardi B, but that was awful. Can we admit that was one of the worst?
Oh yeah, it was. Well, do you remember they were advertising it like for a long time that she was going to be there, and then they pulled all that advertising out, and then it was just day of like, yep, she is back hosting, and it was so lackluster.
Yeah, it sucked. So I thought that was funny, but yeah, mixed feelings about WWE Unreal. Like, I liked some of the stuff that pulls the curtain back and shows you some of these characters and people and actual real emotions. But then when it's trying to, get their own motives over, it definitely rubs me the wrong way. So I wouldn't say I hated it. I liked it still. Like, I still much prefer Dark Side, who are way too brutally honest in those things, but that's not WWE like affiliated. So I don't know. I still like this show. Like, I still want to watch it, but then I do roll my eyes quite a lot at it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to continue watching as they drop more episodes. There's enough good stuff out of it that I do find interesting. I think it is more just seeing them as real people about their everyday lives and how they care about their work and how they're critical of their work and that sort of stuff. I find that a lot more interesting than, as you said, the stuff Triple H is trying to sell us.
Just Triple H pushing himself as the guy. Anything else from this world of wrestling this week? What we got going on?
Well, we had AEW Dynamite. We did mention the fuck Ice Chants, but Brody choking out MJF after a distraction. Cannonball, Gonzo Bomb, 1, 2, 3. I loved it. I thought it was great.
So this match sets up for the Sydney Grand Slam, which should be really good. Definitely looking forward to that. So they have a Dynamite in between, right? Before the weekend for this show. So I'm definitely expecting an MJF.
Is there one more Dynamite? I thought it was.
I feel like the Grand Slam is on the weekend. I could be wrong.
Right. Yes. It's a Collision, isn't it?
This one is in Sydney, which is pretty cool. I know it's a pretty big city over there. I'm sure a lot of fans are gonna want to show up for that. So that's pretty cool. I'm really into this whole MJF like Rogues Gallery thing, where like, okay, now I kind of see it going to Hangman MJF for Revolution. But I liked the fact that we had like Kenny going for the belt, Swerve going for it, Andrade, who's really shown up in the last few weeks, Kenny, who's really stepped up as well again. Like, I like this main players club of like, you don't know where we're going, where I think AEW has always failed at that in the past, of making you go like, the stories maybe not been the most interesting for the main title, whereas I really like even if we go to Hangman MJF, I feel like Hangman or MJF versus Andrade, Kenny, Swerve, all these guys in the mix is a great little thing going on. I really like it. I don't know. What about you?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a clear picture of these are our top guys. This is our top prize. Yes, it is a company with a million different belts, but we know what the main prize is. And these guys shouldn't be going for anything else other than this. And I like that Brody's added to the mix. I think part of me just feels do it. Like part of me would love a bit of a surprise win. You can get back on MJF like a couple of weeks later. It doesn't necessarily need to be a long run, but I kind of feel at the moment, whilst Brody's got a bit of steam, like
you want the title on Brody?
I don't see it happening, but yeah, why not? Like he's never been as popular as he is right now. It would instantly establish him as this is a guy who is a top guy, not one of our we're killing times with a random title defense and you know where it's going. I don't think was necessarily in the plan, but I think with the reaction he got this week and with such a great finish, it's something I'd consider doing. Yeah, and then it kind of, we've got so much time before the next pay-per-view where you can kind of still reset and go back. MJF can, like, he's the biggest heel there is in the company. He can always screw Brody to win it back. But I don't know. I wouldn't be against a little title run for Brody King.
I definitely see down the line, like, I think his popularity could rise. Him and Bandito could be having a big year this year. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen, but I am looking forward to the match. Like, I think the guy is awesome. I loved the year Brodito had, but as separate wrestlers, they are fantastic. I like the segment with them on Wednesday, and I'm definitely looking forward to that match. But I definitely see MJF Hangman being the main event of Revolution. The last time they tangled for the title, it had that weird finish that I think maybe like put the sour taste in people's mouth when the match was really good, and then it kind of got fucky. So I do want like a proper rematch. And I like that Hangman this time around is like, actually, fuck Hook. I don't care about that guy. I just want my title back. They kind of
Hook, the new leader of the Ops.
Oh, yes, of course. The leader of the Ops. How could we forget? So I am happy with that. Like, I do see Kenny versus MJF at Vancouver Dynasty. Like, that makes the most sense. Canada, Kenny being the main event. Like, fuck, you should do that. So I do suspect MJF retains till then. And then Kenny can win, be the champion. And then AJ Styles comes out and we get Kenny versus AJ at Wembley. And then we'll all just be happy and the world would be good. That's what it's a world I want to live in. So hopefully that happens, but we shall see. Cause I don't know, like as much as that is interesting, hearing Stephanie and AJ talk about like, oh, what was that with the gloves? And he's kind of like, dancing around it. I would like to see him in AEW. However, right now, they're sitting pretty right now. AJ would be a cherry on top because right now I think
absolutely
wrestling right now. I'd say WWE, this road to WrestleMania has been good. With January, it was really good. And AEW right now is cooking. Just wrestling right now seems pretty hot. I really loved Kenny versus Andrade. And I think the only critique of that match from Wednesday would be they're holding back for like a future pay-per-view match between Kenny and Andrade because I feel like that would be awesome. But Hangman Andrade is going to be good. If we're going into Kenny versus Swerve at Revolution, that could be awesome. So we really have some great stuff going on. In
also looks like Ospreay's coming back soon with that video package.
Yes, the video package for Will Ospreay. I mean, that put a good sense of like we could be fine with Ospreay, but you can't go to Wembley all in without Will Ospreay in 2026, right? So that put a nice warm feeling of like, we even have him coming back. So really, like all guns blazing with AEW going forward into this next year. So like, I'm really liking what we had. I love Dynamite this week, and I'm looking forward to this week and Grand Slam and everything. You got Takeshita Moxley. That's going to be fucking awesome. So the real graps definitely hitting in all shapes and sizes. You got WWE, some hot promos this week with Punk and Roman. The wrestling on AEW, it's just full stop. There's more. I know there was collision and parking lot brawls and all sorts of stuff. So as WWE gets bigger and badder and popular and everything, I think the rest of the wrestling world does too. So thumbs up. keep watching. Appreciate everyone out there. We're going to kick off and go get ready to watch some Super Bowl and some Bad Bunny, but appreciate everyone out there listening. If you made it this far, we do tons of other shows. Patreon.com/Poisonrana. $5 to get hundreds of shows out there. Plus, we'll be back on Tuesday with Up Next, talking about some NXT and so much more. So appreciate the love out there. If you don't follow us on Twitter, X, Insta, Facebook, go search Poisonrana Pod and check out all the stuff that we do. Did I miss anything?
I mean, just like awful story about Aja Smith and her family this week. And I'm sure most of you know the details by now, but an absolute tragedy. So wishing all the best there. I know that they've been getting a lot of donations. Kevin Owens donated $10,000, but yeah, just tragic. Like 4 lives lost in that fire. And it's just sounds absolutely heartbreaking and awful. So wishing all the best to them, because that's, terrible. Just wanted to say that. I don't want to end on a downer note, but it was a big thing that happened this week, and it was really, really awful.
In times like this and in moments like that or anything similar, the wrestling bubble, this wrestling community, like they usually are there for each other. You can put the tribalism aside sometimes.
Absolutely.
People, and remember, we're all kind of in this together. We're all on this big rock together. So be nice. Like I was saying at the beginning of the show, just because you can't understand some Spanish doesn't mean you can't watch the Super Bowl. Peace and love. We're all human. So be there for each other, and especially times like that. Hearing that story was definitely heartbreaking. And it's cold, it's winter where we are, so stay warm and stay positive. Winter depression hits. So if things like a silly wrestling podcast can maybe bring some joy to you today, I hope it did. So that's why we like doing this. So there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a very heavy WWE show this week, but I think with Grand Slam coming next week, we'll spend a lot of time on AEW as well as some of the WrestleMania build and Elimination Chamber build.
I know. We missed over the EastEnders, Brawling Birds. We missed talking about calling.
Did you know that reference?
I did it. I did. As soon as I went to Twitter, people were going off about EastEnders. I was like, oh, okay. That's where that was. Well, I enjoyed Trick calling Sami Zayn Charles Barkley on SmackDown. There was references all over the place this week. So we'll talk again on Tuesday. I'm sure we'll catch up on whatever else is happening. But again, follow us wherever you do on socials. Appreciate you wherever you are. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And go Seahawks, go Pats, go Bad Bunny.
Let's go Birds.
Let's go Bad Bunny. That's who I'm rooting for. Take care.
Ahoy!